It's important, gotta have a brand.
Gotta have a given.
And then, once it starts going, you also have to click it close.
Yeah.
Oh,
So voila.
and well, let's see who's in our participants. Oh,
Take a breath. You have this agenda on
yeah, I have
there,
that on
but
there.
I also have the TCC fact sheet. We'll get to it.
Oh, perfect.
I'm just like,
You are.
are you seeing me frazzled for the first time?
You seem very relaxed.
Do I? I
No.
Right over there?
Well, I have
No,
it
you
here.
have it. Put it up there then, so you can see.
Right, I will share the screen, maybe?
Are they calling us to?
No. Not yet, let's take a minute,
Okay.
take a breather.
Take a breather, the participant information closed.
It looks kind of different, the computer is like throwing me off right now.
Check the video, make sure we're on the right.
All the time, you know, everything's no, except like everything's kind of zoomed in or zoomed in, I guess.
Put that box in, it goes really big.
It's fine.
That's fine. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought I had a pen on me.
I thought I had a pen on me too,
Oh, here.
and I was fumbling for it.
Oh, my pen, guys, let me see if I have anything.
Your pen.
He definitely.
Up to the pens, up to the.
Yes.
For instance.
You know, I thought by switching maybe
I
could
see.
always find everything.
Must have been off or good in the universe.
All right. I'm set. Now for the founders. So nobody's online.
Nobody's online. Let's see. It's us. Just us.
Okay, shall I remind everyone of a little protocol? We're being,
If you've never heard it, we've heard it.
I know, but he has never heard.
Okay.
Well, he's never been in our Zoom.
Okay, there you go.
So for those of us in the Zoom room, in the non-Zoom, real life. IRL, in real life room, this Zoom meeting is being transcribed by AI. He or she does not know
They,
who is speaking. It assumes the UNNC president is speaking. So each time we speak, we say, this is Laura speaking. Whoever, we'll forget. Try it, we want to try to do it.
The AI might know recognize voices.
No, and so when we have a transcript, if there's
Yeah.
any reason to refer to the transcript, sometimes it's important to know who said what.
So we're gonna ask the AI to check the YouTube.
Not a bad idea. I like where this is
Well,
going.
let me just,
All right.
Laura's saying, I don't know about YouTube, but I find it not so fun to have to see the meeting again for now.
You know, YouTube now has the AI that it has a summary of the whole meeting, and you can even ask, when did Laura say this? And then he finds the minute.
Saying.
Oh,
Caesar.
well, without looking at the screen.
No, now.
Oh, Caesar speaking, yes. Yeah, anyway, let's go this order. Any other chat with order? All right, let's just call it to order because I have two babies at home. All right. Welcome everybody. Thanks for being. Yeah, so this is the mobility and transportation. We're going to review the agenda, and then we are going to introduce ourselves first. Yeah, I'm Cesar Garcia. I live in Jefferson Park. Yeah, I've been here for a full year in the UNNC.
I'm Laura Myers. I live in Angeles, Wisconsin, which is North Washington, and I'm currently serving as president.
Greg Travis, I am a stakeholder. This is my first time being here.
Seven Lee, I'm a Jefferson Park resident stakeholder, been there for over 20 years. More than 40 plus in the CD10 district, right?
And Greg, you've been,
I guess this is Greg again. We should say I live in Jefferson Park and I've lived here for 24 years.
Yes, you were speaking on 6 years here.
Right.
Alrighty, okay, so let's review the agenda, let me put it on the screen so anybody watching.
This is Greg. Question, this is not a Jefferson Park only thing. It's just only Jefferson Park peeps are here today, except for you. Like this.
Seven CD. I think it's because we got a lot of choosing.
Yeah,
that too.
I think that's.
This is Greg. Remind me how many. It's not all HPOCs, or is it all, is this a gathering of consortium of HPOCs? This is a consortium of,
This is
or is it-
Laura speaking, and we could probably do this a little bit, but Laura speaking. The neighborhood council system is citywide. There are 99 neighborhood councils. And we are United Neighborhoods of the historic Arlington Heights, West Dallas, and Jefferson communities neighborhood council. And with large boundaries, Pico to more or less Exposition Obama, more or less Crenshaw, map Crenshaw to Normandy, but you can see there's actually a Z and Western Arlington, Normandy. There's two Jefferson Park. There's two Jefferson Park. Yes. You're in region that used to be called the bungalows.
that's me.
Yes, but that's a dumb name because there's also bungalows on the other side of Arlington. So
There's a West Adams on the east side.
oh wow.
That's slowly, that's slow. Let's just not get into details here.
Information, there are 4.5 neighborhood councils that serve the greater West Dallas. So we're only.
Yeah, and there's about 66,000 in the UNNC.
60,000, 60 to 80.
Stakeholders.
Right, so there's about 60,000 residents, a number that's actually going down a little, not up. And other stakeholders might be business. Absentee property, people go to church here
Or work.
or work. It's the same in the-
I've tried to actually drive the entire region, it's all of the region, it is very good.
and
Very,
diverse.
Very. I'm very surprised. I thought I knew it, because I worked with.
Okay, let's go back to the agenda. All right, let's, so the agenda has about 8 items. Okay, the first one is welcome, the second is general public comments, keep it at 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, then we'll have some updates, we'll debrief on the walk and talk that happened back in June. We'll talk about the closing some of our neighborhood streets for neighborhood outreach and just like a community event. Number 4, we'll talk about advocacy strategy, okay, for pursuing some of our safety things that we want to do in our neighborhood. Then we'll do number 5, incident tracking and documentation for City 10. Number 6, exploring the TCC, the Transformative Private Communities Planning Grant, and what that means for us. And then we'll have updates with the whole business, and then we'll adjourn. So let's go back to general public comments. It's Laura.
And it may or may not be us. Starting tomorrow, so it's Friday night, Saturday and Sunday, there's the LAPD Police Museum Carnival on Washington Boulevard. They're closing the street. Washington Boulevard has been closed since yesterday morning from 10th Avenue to Crenshaw for this carnival. The update I just got less than an hour. We can have a short, like 2 hour stretch on Saturday, but it's 5 to 7. The only purpose would be, only purpose would be to bring them out.
Yeah.
And I was hoping it would be a little earlier in the day, although I don't know what your schedule is.
Saturday from 5 to 7, and we'll just set up and take down.
We would just be doing the easel.
Yeah.
Map.
Yeah.
And some brochures, which I just ran out of this.
I can do it, like.
Yeah, and we'd have to figure out how to walk the easel.
Yeah,
Very close.
yeah, that's, I shouldn't be. I can walk in, I have a car. Yeah.
All right, so I'll confirm it, but for everybody else, it's the LAPD Police Museum. So, this is their first adventure here. It's a citywide museum. It's physically located. The reason they're having to do fundraising in part is because in the unrest last year, ICE, the museum is not sure of the clear nexus.
Laura, any other public comments? I have two. One is that, I just saw, for this is the new school year. Okay, last year it started with a very terrible tragedy. Now we have a crossing guard where an accident happened, or close to where the accident happened, where there was a bunch of children. There's crossing guard. So that's progress.
Right, where,
The incident is on 12th and Jefferson. That's where the crossing guard is. They come in the morning for the kids go to school, and then the afternoon they're leaving school. So Caesar speaking to now. So now my kid goes to Prescott right now in the corner of Arlington, and the parent group there is very active. Okay, and everybody's concerned about safety in the chat, and we looked into safe routes to school. We found out that there's only 10 schools in all of LAUSD that has an actual safe routes to school. LADOT supposed to kind of lead that, and their website where supposed to be in charge of that has been dormant since 2019. So that's another public comment that is.
And this is Laura speaking. Is there any intersection between safe routes to school and trees and shade? Or are we just safe but sunny?
There definitely is. We're definitely exploring all options. But you know, the alley behind the 27th, that alley would be really perfect for people that are walking, for people that can just drop off on 27th instead of doing the weird thing that they have to do. But that's a whole different scope of work.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think this is Laura speaking. Under general public comments, I had invited Greg here to impart to meet you and we talk about the transform TCC. Because his interest is more more aligned with the greening of trees, but also safety on Western and his street.
Yeah.
So I told him we have a murky boundaries.
Yeah.
Between our communities. You know, so that
Everything's kind of blending in because at the end of the day, like to get this done, things need to get combined, make it more of a not just we get a stoplight, like well, you gotta make it more of a efficient.
Right. So we do have an environmental committee, we do have a trees committee, we do have planning, have this transport, mobility and transportation parks, but we're kind of working jointly at this point. And we're also kind of offline talking about some collaborations with the community, and one of which will be
Any other public comment? Good. So far, all right. Let's get up to number 3 then. Let's quickly debrief about the walk and talk that we had back in June. As a quick reminder, this was an organized walk and talk between the mayor's office, C10, LADOT, another Neighborhood Council, West End Neighborhood Council, and then the commissioner for the neighborhood councils as well there. They live on the south side of our neighborhood council. And we have a lot of neighbors. Sunday was there, Laura, and a couple other neighbors came out, and we did a walk and talk from Jefferson and 12, a little bit over what's Norton. We did a walk to the train with the Jefferson up to made a lap of Crenshaw, experienced the train stop and all its glory as two trains were passing by, and we did that safety meet. We crossed we passed through the K line, the door to the K line, and then there's this field where the Glacier Crossing is supposed to be built. I'm not sure if that's going to happen anymore, but that field is just hoping you can cross it. It's dirt lot with a nice sycamore grove on the side. And then we went through this alley, which it's part of the first mile, last mile initiative that has been implemented. There were lots of ideas going around as we talked and walked. Then we made a left of Dignan, 1311, and then made our way back on 36, where the gas station is. There's no shade at all there, and gas company. And then back on 12th Avenue. That's what we kind of embarked. So were there anything that stood out? So anybody of you that would like to yes?
Well, what stood out on the day of was not just that general feeling of exposure and lack of safety. And we were walking across train tracks, so in two different times, walked across them going south. I had Crenshaw, and walked across them going north.
Right.
And in both instances, more so, didn't feel like it's well marked, certainly not shaded if you had to wait because the train was going.
Right.
And especially at Dayton, it didn't feel like much of anything other than, oh shit, it's a train.
It's a train. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think they did have, but it's not even it's not a platform. And complete lack of shade. And then obviously, as we walked into Exposition Place, which is 50-foot wide alley, we had questions because it appears online, it appears that the city owns the entire 50 feet. It shows on Zenus it's 50 feet wide. But when you walk it, all of the businesses have marked parking spaces. So it is very unclear if they own that 16 feet or if the city owns it. So we have been talking about for implementing, how can we implement the Metro board approved plan for this alley, which is about an $8 million project. They priced it out this 4 years ago to put parklets, fewer parking spaces, but not zero. Still taking advantage of space, putting in trees, making green, shaded. And we walk away with questions as to, is it physically possible if the city doesn't own the whole 50 feet?
Right.
And then subsequently, for reasons that I don't remember, we talked about it this week. I came across a project in Koima to 18 square blocks of Koima have been coated with a sun reflective material to lower the temperatures. And they actually did like projects. And it worked. The study did lower temperature. So the question is, do we add that to our exploration?
Right. I mean, would you like to say anything about the walking tour?
Well, we talked about this environmental codex came.
But the coding paper mentioned to Alex, she said there are examples in
Yeah.
have it.
Yeah.
And then
There's been in Jefferson Park.
there's and then I was looking at on my map and just realizing that the Carson Board campus may be covered.
Well, that's cool.
Because looking
That's
aerially, it looks like it's very colorful. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but I would love to find out what they actually do. Is it environmental?
Well, it's not a good solution if it's the only solution. So in other words, if that's what the LAUSD, Laura speaking, if that's what an LAUSD would be doing in lieu of taking up pavement and putting in actual growing spaces, it's not greening at school.
Right.
But I was thinking back to the Expos.
Yeah, you like this, so at least that's.
Yeah, exactly.
So going back to that idea, because I remember very clearly on this walk and talk with Oliver, the LADOT guy was like, this is a really low hanging fruit for LADOT for just stripping some paint, saying like, this is a walkway, putting some signage for people to be like, oh, you can walk through here type of thing. So.
Is low hanging fruit that which they want to do?
That's the thing, okay, so then that's the thing, that's.
We have no staff and we have no money.
Well, I think that was the other guy, but other person should be like more relaxed, but yeah, so then watching that information about what other person wanted to actually reach out to him specifically and be like, hey, we actually want to do this. Can you do it? Like, if so, how do we apply?
Well,
Yeah.
who have been through Monica Rodriguez, Councilwoman from District 7's office, along with a group of public private.
Okay, that would.
And but I think with the leadership problem, Rodriguez, I mean, I think our first step is find out how that happened.
Yeah.
It was a much more massive effort than one.
Yeah, how do we,
One
because I know
single-
they're doing it in Jefferson Park, or somebody I leave like.
Where?
Right on 30th. And between 5th and 4th is like a little, they're doing some streets there.
Really?
They did them over to somebody else.
The streets actual asphalt.
Yeah, the asphalt, like it's not colorful though, it's not like pretty like you said, it's just like a little grayer, like that, it's not black, it's like gray.
Well, the ones- I'm a
Yeah.
yellow, blue.
Okay, yeah.
Making it was really nice.
Yeah, so it's like just sniff like when tires go over it.
That's right, these are public streets.
Yeah.
So. I keep saying, so Greg now says. These are just people who are painting their grass, the city
The
does.
city, or someone that has city authority, I don't know who would think. We'll try to figure out.
Yeah, because this is what we're speaking. My street was just 2 weeks ago re-coated in dark black asphalt. And I can tell you,
That's
it's
terrible,
much hotter.
yeah.
I mean, it was immediately hotter. So,
Um,
it's just a thought. I mean, in other words,
I think we should just set up follow-up to Oliver and
Right.
while
Yes, I
we've been
re-
seeing.
right,
And
we
then-
still want to implement the whole thing, but maybe a start would do this.
Right.
Even if in the end it gets undone because there's other construction and gets ruined from that. But, because we're not gonna have $8 million.
Right. Right, and we should probably ask CV Pen as well, to if they know anything about this, and if we want, just like something basic, like we're not asking to do like food tree, anything, just put some paint, make it official that this is a walkthrough
Right.
to get to the train, like.
I just because I don't know the history of why. First mile, that last mile was focusing on this project, but if I haven't seen anyone in that area. Who is a stakeholder advocating for station mile, last mile. So I'm just curious why that was.
Well, if you know, this has been going on for 16, 15 years. So,
Yeah, so that's why I'm asking.
so a lot of,
People just kind of give up and then.
well, right, I mean, in other words, people who were engaged in focus groups might be dead by now. I mean, I can't. It's a
So
long
I'm like,
time.
If there-
what do you guys?
I'm just saying it's
Like,
why.
you're just. Well, I use the alley,
Okay.
my wife uses the alley.
That's what I-
The people in the condos use the alley.
Oh.
See, from CDP, uses the alley. Alright,
this
let's
is-
not focus on who uses the alley, let's just improve the alley and. You know.
Because the conflict is that now there is businesses using parks. That's
Great.
why.
Yeah, but this
Also-
would not undo that.
One second, so I just, okay, so from the walk and talk,
Yes.
That's and then I got inspired by some men, you're like, you talk to these people. So I was like, yes, My wife works here, I talked to them.
Cause I,
This 2 weeks ago, Rio's the architecture
Right.
firm, had
Yes, I
a
was gonna ask you about-
yeah, because after that,
Yes.
I actually went.
okay,
And I met this representative of the situation, and they're like, well. Like she personally would be very happy for any improvement there, as she works there, and has to deal with it. He on her bag every time she goes, has to be outside. And yeah,
I think we could, if this was, we're speaking, if this was something that was really being seriously pursued. I would guess that Rios or there are other design firms.
Yeah.
Would engage with us to design patterns, so it could actually be cute, like the one in Point, it's not just one color.
yeah, okay,
Because
I'll see now, yeah.
Yeah, so that's how we get their engagement. If your core question is, well, how come you're doing this? We've got a lot of people coming out to ask you. Well, noting that that little sector of UNNC is south of the train and it stops at Obama. I mean, there's these sort of this orphan area that we've done nothing for or with all these years. But the other reason we're suddenly focusing on this is remember that our councilwoman has done an initiative to put in a park in that same. You know,
And at the end of the alley.
yeah, so
So it's-
we're
kind of-
inactivating an area, so you're right, we have to canvas. I mean, no one's gonna say, oh, no, I would like it to stay 10 degrees hotter. Well, I just
Okay, let's not go there.
The question of whether or not it was we go to the street,
Yeah.
so I think she was the one who raised the issue, so I thought, okay, so.
There's some
Technical
confusion, there's technical things, who owns
Yeah.
which part?
Yeah.
Is it 50 feet like Zeman says? Or is the city control on, just call it 35 feet? With 15 feet for parking, I
And then I
don't,
recall you bringing up several other meetings that had who owns.
well, and I've looked on, but I've looked on the public, where we can publicly view it, both CMS and I've looked on Navigate LA. And in both cases, it indicates that the city, it's not a vacated alley. However, there's de facto, that all that parking is there, I don't think anyone wants to take it.
I noticed that they have like staggered parking in some of those lots, so it's like. Sure they can afford it pretty.
Yeah, the plan from Metro that was approved showed sort of interspersing parklets and parking.
Right.
And another parklet. So I think it was taken into, I would love to see the underlying documents, we only have five results.
So it's just to
Too much time.
recap, I'll just follow up with Oliver from LADMP. I'll also ask you to see what we can do just to like get something moving, thing over, yeah, anyway. Moving on to the next item on the agenda. The closing of our neighborhood streets. I've been researching this. I actually got and talked to Kristen Riddick. She is the one that closes the street for Halloween parade. I don't know. It's just Halloween block party right here on 30th between Arlington and Ford.
Point of clarification, Fred, this is temporary closing.
Oh, yeah.
One.
Yeah, 1 day closing.
Okay, just.
Yeah, so sorry.
This will make sure.
1 day closing, and this, so it's, they have to get a permit. They've been doing this for six years or something like that. And most years, I forget which year they say they didn't get, CD10 pays for the permit. Permit costs between, for some reason, it varies by year, between $900 and like $1,400. And it's been covered by CD10 in the previous years. And it's just a form you have to fill out, and then someone reviews it in the city. And then you get approved or you get to do it. So
Does it require signatures?
it requires, yes, it requires signatures. You know what? That's a good question. But I think so. Okay, see, Ali said it requires signatures. Community events though, like I know you, like when they close down Washington Boulevard, there's no way they get. And
They did not
They-
get signatures.
don't
for
get
this kind of
right?
law. I know for
There's
sure.
no way they can get.
They like, when they're doing what?
Yeah. So they don't get 100% signature, so I'm assuming like there's gotta be a threshold somewhere, where, like you gotta get this, let people know. So I don't know, and the one we're trying to close, just a reminder is we're trying to close between 11 and 7:36. And
So that's a pretty large,
that's a
4 blocks.
yeah, with the 4 blocks. And that would activate the neighborhood and be more active. Like a lot of our neighbors don't know how to ride a bike. They don't know how to like do just being outside and meet other neighbors. Like just mentioned, and this will kind of like activate them and like come outside, especially for the biking and thing that we want to do eventually. Like, have a more active transit as opposed to relying on cars. This is like long-term visions. Are there any? So yeah, that's the main thing that I found out from Kristen. That it's just a form. There's a fee for the form. City usually pays the fee. If not, maybe UNNC can pay the fee. They'll pay the fee. But it's expensive. So maybe we can go averages. That is, yeah. Any thoughts about? Yes.
Well, you're trying to make, since Laura's speaking, you're trying to make this like a play,
Yeah, like
more like a cyclovia, but not really.
right.
Or
Just for the neighborhood. Yeah.
I mean, there's been a couple of things in the last couple of years that some the cyclovia organization did do some play day, not LA 84's play day,
Yeah.
but a little play day over 24th Street between Hoover, 2 blocks west. That went by the 24th Street Theater in the Kenner. And that brought out one entity that did pockets and another entity that, West Side Heritage did coloring, but it was historic cute house.
Right.
It was play for kids. It wasn't active exercise.
Right.
So was it play day? Anyway, so are you trying to do something like
Something like that, yes. Something like that would be very nice with this.
And then Greg, I know you're trying to reactivate your block, maybe? Yes, some sort of event, no, just what?
Historically, the one block west used to close for 4th of July. For question. Related, just curious, what kind of monies does UNNC have?
Well, this money anymore.
Who funds it?
The city funds us. We used to have a 50,000, every neighborhood council had 50,000 budget and roll over whatever you didn't spend. Then they dropped it to 40, then they changed the rules on rollover, so it's maximum $7,000. So if you don't spend it all, you get it back. The last couple of years, they let us keep it anyway. Just, cut us to 20,000. Way cut. So our administrative, our broad administrative includes key openings. So we don't have office. We're hoping to stop storage. Think city 10. But all of that aside, still have 50,000-60,000 of 25 going just for a lot of administrative costs. And it's a shame. It's the rest we really want to be spending money in the community.
Right.
And we used to have a policy as related to block club or neighborhood events of $400. But we and it tends to be first come, first serve. I think we're in a good position though to help, with the outreach for sure, and with connecting to other entities. So one of the things that the 30th Street event did was trigger us to give a UNNC to give a grant to Rediscover, which is offered on Washington Boulevard, is for crafters. Crafting is not the right word. They take recycled materials and they teach kids to build things with them. So it's very cool. And we gave them a grant to build 4.
So
The first one was last year's 30th. We gave them the money after the fact, that in theory we were more or less paying that, so we have 3 to go.
Right.
In theory, to be out in our community with.
So relating back to closing the streets. Are there any questions or like moving forward, should we still explore?
Well,
trying to
there's
close
still
streets?
insurance requirements.
Oh, and insurance.
So, yeah, there's an insurance
I think
requirement.
the permit, but like there's something like.
It's two.
There's 2 different.
It's two different things. And depending on the focus and the engagement with other community organizations. West Adams Heritage provides the insurance for the Music Under the Stars because we are a sponsor. And sponsor, so we can justify our that do it, but it would be difficult to be a co-sponsor for every lot club. So it would depend on the nature of the event. We helped with play day event because we knew the other partners,
Right.
you know, we could help perhaps with yours.
Right.
Get the insurance, but you have to have insurance.
Right. Okay, thank you for bringing those up. Any other discussion on possibly closing the streets?
I just think you would need a focus. Is it Sunday? Is it potluck?
I'll definitely think about it. Or maybe
And in your case, you know, would you have a bicycle repair? Would you have?
we have like borrowing by this whole thing. Like,
What repairs?
Oh, yeah.
Repair works, I mean, it's something,
yeah, it's down the street.
well, they come out and they help you,
Yeah.
you can put your little thing that needs repair and show you.
Yeah.
Well, no, there's actually a thing now called,
Yeah.
yeah, there's actually a thing now called. Repair central, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't be a good thing if what your real day is about exercise.
No, okay. All right, definitely find a focus. Fine. We'll bring it up in the next meeting. We'll probably want to do this year. Bring it back. I think what's her name? Pruitt. Sandra Pruitt was interested in kind of like doing the thing, closing up the street in our side of the paper. So I'll talk to her, see maybe she might get some ideas. Our next one is the advocacy strategy pursuing support from elected officials regarding traffic safety concerns. This comes from the letter that we wrote a year ago regarding traffic safety on Jefferson, Arlington, and Adams, speeding, traffic fatalities, crashes left and right, unreported crashes, reported crashes. And and then things add up. We had a big cyclist fatality on 36th and 5th Avenue. So things like that have been piling up, and I was supposed to go to an executive and ask if anybody has followed up on the letters that we wrote last year and done any.
Well, yeah, we got Laura speaking, the responses that they gave us, the
Speed bumps,
speed tables.
speed tables. When we
To give us the speed.
Right, and I feel like the letters sometimes like push them, I think.
I don't know what it is.
Those like.
I don't know, what are the speed tables?
Speed tables, yeah, you just kind of like, the car gets onto the speed bump as opposed to just one tire at a time.
But it creates some.
Those things down.
They're painted white stripes, right? There's white stripes on to going down on it.
Yeah.
What is this? But it does cause one to disgrace you. It does cause one to, something is happening, right? Sort of, you re-engage.
So yeah, I think that letter solidified those speed bumps. And anything came out of it, and however, we haven't seen any improvements other than, I take it back. We got the crossing guard avenue, for that particular school. And I haven't seen any improvements on that.
I haven't seen it.
That you would say, oh, this happened because of the letter.
So what you're asking me is, Well, you're asking your UNNC officers.
Yeah.
Is any. Oh, goodness. Hardly any response. Measurable response. To the year, it is 1 year ago.
Yeah.
To the.
Yes.
August 2025.
Caesar, question, again, this is great clarification. You didn't mention Western, it's because Western doesn't have problems, because Western is.
Western is the borderline, and I guess okay, so last year, the letter was only supposed to include Jefferson. But the deputy back then was saying like, well, there's this speed tables that are coming in, can you also just put Arlington on your letter? So we have this letter attached to whatever, I don't know.
And then.
And then they're like, can you just add Adams too?
Because it's I mean, Adams has, Adams in particular between like 10th and Crenshaw has serious ongoing traffic accidents, fatalities. Since about 1909. No, seriously, there's some really early fatalities because of the hill and the desired speed. It's also so it's just, and the intersection at 10th Edge Hill Adams is quite confusing because it's a little offset.
Yes.
Is Western relatively not a problem.
It is.
Well,
We
you're
can,
saying it is,
Yeah.
but is it?
in terms- oh yeah, all of our neighborhood streets are crashed, like you see the data and there's no safe spot. They can stand up because there has been a crash. So you
See,
can, you can look this up on the Berkeley data or something.
Can I make a smart remark?
Sure.
But I think it's really smart.
Okay, maybe.
It's maybe inappropriate. I might do it anyway.
Yeah,
Just-
it sounds like you're gonna do it.
Prostitutes, slow it down.
Oh. No, probably not. It'd probably make it more dangerous, like breaking
Yeah, you're
things.
right. So, but have you,
That's too soon.
have you, Laura asking Greg, have you actually noticed increased speed or car crashes on Western?
Right, I'm to Laura. I haven't noticed it one way, but since I'm getting new here, I just want to find out what is the baseline, I can imagine.
Yeah. The baseline is
Western
for,
is a different street than the other streets.
yeah, so supposedly according to the LADOT, 4 crashes triggers some sort of study at an intersection. The question is, do they do anything about that? Study? And I haven't seen any changes.
Right, they identify,
Unless it's a fatality, then things happen a little.
I think so.
people. So they're doing a road diet safety. People to
She's also got a young person remote to.
that may be a slightly different. Project. That project. I think was for Jefferson, beautiful, and a big grant related to the space shuttle. When great big running all those years ago, removing some trees. So some trees planted in big pot of money put into that to spend on trees. But yes, well, this is what,
Yeah, no, you're right, like, I think you're just trying to clarify which, it's like, why do we get it? Yeah, it's just, we
Well-
chose this one because there was a really terrible crash, we're like, it feels so unsafe to just walk in our, like, in our neighborhood, that's speeding park all the time. So we decided to write this letter, like, just some research and like, put it together.
It sounds like it was reply. Like, but it was,
And it took a lot of pushing. But some things got done, we build relationships and then things are kind of like.
well, some of what we built out of that letter, but it's us doing. As opposed to what Caesar was asking, get a response, we can send it. But part of our build out will be the this is TCC.
Right, so yeah, we're gonna get there. So then just finish up this item. I think why I brought this item up is because it's been a year, and then, you know, I tell every time someone tells me, hey, like Jefferson's food safe, I tell them about the letter we wrote last year, and all the things that we've been working on. And then they ask, should I like send a follow-up to who? And I'm like, maybe you should. And then this neighbor, he was in our walk and talk, Wesley. He asked, maybe we should do you know, a massive, all the neighbors get together and just ask what's happening on Jefferson regarding like this particular letter and like any improvements on it. And that's regarding to like Ian and his neighbors, like there was a vacant lot, someone took over the lot, and then they just called CD10 like nonstop, and they actually did something regarding that particular location. So it seems like he was going back to like, what about Jefferson? We do that on Jefferson so we can make it feel safer. Yes, Laura, that was huge.
Yes, Laura speaking. But you also remember we got some pushback.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We got pushback from a monthly meeting group called
Jefferson Park Watch.
Jefferson Watch Safety. A neighborhood association that's not formal, but they have good constituents. And the person in charge, who just thought she was a formal, you know her, and it's a just becoming viewed as an organization, whether it is or not. So when Caesar mentioned some of the elements of the letter, there's a lot of pushback from other neighbors who thought, oh my God, you're taking away our parking, because we were drawing, mapping how, to make it safe. We want to slow it down. We want to create safety for bicycles. I mean, there's a lot of thought put in by Caesar and other neighbors, but it's not aligned necessarily with how some residents see their. It's the proposal we have in the letter is 100% aligned with the citywide ability. And should there be a major sewer project or something like that on Jefferson, all of this would be automatic to street that together. Voted, the city can no longer make a mess of the street, put it back together without any 2005. So
Right.
So I was actually going to watch as well, because that's how I got started. And it's actually a really good group, because I feel like you can go and talk about those issues, and they actually have CB10 there, and they have officers there, they have traffic there, and people feel like their issues are. So the day that Caesar arrived, I was there.
Yeah, that's how
I saw the train wreck that was happening. I am very sympathetic to what you are proposing, but I also knew the introduction was not.
the introduction was
not-
like what?
So you just kind of came out and you were like, "Hey, we're gonna do this," and then all of a sudden, I think people were just like, "What is this?" And you like, "Who are you?" And who are you? And it was just it became very kind of like, it needed to be prepared.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that everybody there would have reacted that way had you had a little bit more conviction.
Right.
People are, very traditional. They're like elderly and they're like mobily, they need their cars to get places. They can't just get on a bike. No, it's not safe. And because just Boulevard is so unsafe that the idea of riding a bike is just so wait a minute, what's happening here? We lose our parking because a lot of the businesses fight over their parking. They're dependent on their parking, they fight with each other about parking. So it is a very touchy situation everywhere. But as you said, benefits and the inevitability of some of the design that's gonna happen. But it needed to be kind of reintroduced, and I think that was where the friction happened, because I think Caesar also, like, you were supposed to come back and talk about the reading map, and you didn't show up. That was kind of a, I think it was because you were busy. And
Yeah, I don't remember.
you don't remember it, but it was.
Well, Sandra sort of, Sandra had said, we'll have UNNC, blah, 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 to do it, but she hadn't cleared, he was gonna be out. But she hadn't cleared dates.
Yeah, and it's been like verbatim missing.
It was a bit of mess up.
Yeah,
There's
so-
miscommunication there, but yeah,
No.
but that is a very active.
This is great, talking to son or something. Something, are you here with two hats on? Or are you like me, just interested in, are you officially part of the school?
No, I'm a state.
But are you-
She's like you.
I'm like you.
Okay, so you're not like him.
No, I'm not official. I'm not a.
She could be though, I've invited her so many times, I'm like, come on, Sonia, you're doing the work. Yeah.
I don't want to. Because I want to be the stakeholder, voice, and I also, and other people have asked me to like be part of their organization. I don't feel like I can be as, ultimately, I want to say, you know, I want the perspective of like, I'm a property owner, I'm a homeowner, I'm a resident, you know, I have business there, and so it's kind of like, I want that perspective. I don't want the conflict of interest in anyone, but I want everyone to know that I want community, I want relationship. That's what I'm doing when I was walking down, introducing myself to the stores. Saying, you know, you've got an issue here with the liquor store, like, you know, they were like, my parking is taken. I was like, okay, well, let's talk to the people who are taking your parking. Let's make sure that they come over and talk to you before they do anything. Find out what, so then now they're like, okay, well, we're gonna have, yeah, we might get him mad, so do you mind with this?
Just a quick aside on parking, because the parking on Jefferson is a 2-hour parking from Crenshaw to probably past Arlington. And that does not get him, like, I've been emailing Callie saying like, there's been an abandoned car on Jefferson for like 3 weeks. Like, no tickets, nothing, 2-hour parking, so
Yeah.
anyway, that was just.
We had the movie in the park on the 11th. So I had to have my car parked on Jefferson so I could offload all the popcorn and fruit juices and then put them back. Oh my God, that place, the street is filthy. It is not Big Street. It's just
Yeah, because
filthy.
cars park there all the time, they don't move, and then they don't get tickets, so like,
Yeah,
anyway.
anyway, I know we're hijacking your meeting.
Yes, we gotta get to number 5, we still gotta get to number 6, and we still not even close to us.
Could be.
Alright, quickly, and we're gonna move on to item number 5. Incident tracking and documentation, this leads to like more of a, like the four crashes. And something happens in LADOT, AARP at this workshop that they brought on. Yeah, yeah, but now it's just more of a.
Anybody over 40.
Yeah, now it's more inclusive. They had this workshop for how to use LA services, and it was great. And then that's when I found out about 4 incidences. And Ali there said, you know, a lot of those crashes don't get reported. So Ali, in that means that if you tell me and take a picture of the incident, I will log it and you will keep our own. Yes.
Great. Do you know who it is?
Oh, sorry. That was a part.
Oh, you do. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, so what was I saying? So should we start compiling that? Should we tell our neighbors? How do we go about this information about?
I will say, this is. You're talking about actual bureaucratic traffic, which is a good thing. I will note that the thing I see, I notice. Anyway, and I see it on Venice, because I'm driving, been there for years, are the ghost bikes. Tires, so I hope somebody.
Yeah.
I think it's not a bad idea to make sure bike painting It's called a ghost bike.
It's
If
a-
you
oh,
got
yes,
ghost bike, if the person dies
other bike.
on their bike and a tire. And we have 2 or 3 of just little memorials on the school record for some,
Right.
but it catches my eye. So that's not, I don't think it's good. Or
It's a reminder. Of
it's a
yeah.
it's maybe, that along with what you're doing, trying to do that
Mhm.
if someone's passed. Because if we start having more, I mean, is there a ghost bike at the corner of Fifth and Circuit? Put on there?
Good.
What do other districts, how do other districts have?
This is not city.
So this is how it's, yeah, it's, so LADP, we find out about crash if, and only if LAPD shows up. There's no other way to track. It's,
So other districts have the same issue.
oh yeah. Well, I'm assuming so. I would know because I don't know like everything, but I would assume so.
So what you're proposing is
Like
creating a portal.
creating some sort of tracking, like a spreadsheet, so like. Or actually, what I really wanted to get at is here, the citizen app. You guys ever use citizen app? Okay, it's this app where people literally go and take video or pictures of an accident or a crime that's happening. And it's a little
Expanding
or-
houses burning down.
exactly a little bit sensationalized by the people, but it's evidence that you can gather, and if you like subscribe, you can see the backlog of the data. So I guess my proposition, if I go to Cincinnati and log all the actions that that have been logged in the citizen app that you can track.
Oh, you mean pull it out?
All the data from citizen,
Yeah.
some of these crashes are not reported.
Yes.
Would it be helpful
Would.
to send you?
Well-
Yes, what do we think?
Well, I mean, as I've been saying, I've been making an asset map, and I started off with making a map of that's what I said.
Mhm.
So I have my map with all the times that I used to get from the Jefferson Park Watch meetings. And after a couple of years of trying, I realized it's just depressing.
Mhm.
That's why I switched to full focus, because you can have all of these
Data points.
data points. Unless something's gonna happen with
Yeah,
it.
like something positive.
Positive, it's just gonna be burden,
Right,
so
I
Yeah.
agree.
that's why, I go to the meetings and I log on. But ultimately, it's only effective for Ally or the LAPD to go there. Take care of it, and then they just take care of it.
Right. Okay, I agree with that. I like that change.
We have citizens, we have crime mapping, we have all these things, and that's why.
Yes, Laura.
So Laura, in her previous iteration of life, I don't know if you know this, I was magazine.
Yes, I use my phone.
Well, I'm a journalist, so data is very important. The way you would write many magazine long form stories, so format would be the first couple of paragraphs is your anecdotal lead. So that's where what Citizen would have is the anecdotal leads, like video or photographs. Well, there's that, but a video or photographs of a really horrible accident.
Includes all the
But
time.
the banner paragraph, which follows, is the statistical. So this person who died in this crash is one of 673 people under 18 in this geography who've died in bicycle accidents in the last 5 years. I mean, so it's the anecdotal lead. So it's
Okay.
going into Citizen to get our
I
anecdotes.
really like that.
But we have to have the actual statistics.
Right, I really like that. Okay, so.
Also, the error, I know we're doing, but that symbolic person, the symbolic anecdote has to be not just true, but matched the statistics,
Right.
because they're standing in as simple.
Okay, going back to the ARP, speaking again, they invited me to this workshop about, so I became a volunteer, long story short, I'm very involved in ARP now.
You oversported?
Yeah. And and they invited me to this workshop. It's like a storytelling workshop about whatever cause you wanna take on, like ability or like art. So they like show, like I'm a math guy, so I'm like math guy. So I relearn, I guess I never learned, I guess, how to tell the story of why you're trying to tell, because it's more important about the story than this thing. And that's why you more breath. And I really like, okay, let's just go number 6, real quick. Okay, the TCC. Okay, so we're exploring the TCC.
For real stats, or use the FAQ. We can.
Past year since I got involved in UNNC, I've been trying to look for avenues to make our neighborhood better. And it seems like it's really hard. So I talked to a lot of people, and one of those people led me to Isaac Bryan's office. It was Michelle Persoff. She mentioned about this grant. Like, I think you want to do the TCC grant. And I think Laura and a couple other people were there in the meeting, and we looked into it. And one of the people that I had talked to a year ago, her name is Nola. She is from the Trust for Public Land. I mentioned it to her that we were interested, and she knows all about it. She's implemented things like that. So she's kind of like been helping us push the TCC grant along. And now we've been meeting weekly every Friday, trying to figure out if we can actually get a award or just even apply. And we're gonna meet tomorrow again.
So, Laura speaking, UNNC is playing a role that we haven't yet voted. We're playing a role, one of the partners with as many collaborative partners. 5. These have two public entities as well as nonprofit organizations. At the moment, we're meeting through the auspices Trust for Public Land on Friday afternoons schedule. I wanted to mention that Greg has degrees, that right? Sort of cultural
I'm a certificated horticulturist.
and landscape design, or just the, so it wouldn't be terrible to see if he could join us at one, because it's not an official. That's so.
Do you belong to
Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, so yeah, anybody, like I invited a lot of my neighbors, and somebody comes to thank you, and I invited another DNA. She worked for another used to work for a nonprofit called OR.
Oh yeah.
And she's supposed to be joining, but she hasn't been able to. But yeah, people are interested in this because it is a transformative grant. It'll make some of the things that we've been asking for. It'll fund the things that we've been asking for, like the things. So street safety.
What's your
walkability.
How do I contact you?
Sure. Let me.
Meeting.
Let's close the meeting. But yeah, any questions about this TCC?
What are the grants? What are the amounts which?
So right now, going for the planning grant, which is $300,000. And then if we get the planning grant, then more than likely we'll get the implementation grant, which is $26 million or more. Okay, I think the Eco Lab got $64 million. Exactly. So it is a huge opportunity for our community.
Are you writing the grant or is this?
Oh no, I am like on the ground as a stakeholder.
Involved in grant funding.
Yeah, so Nola's supposed to get us a grant writer, hopefully more.
Well, I have a question, since I had simply brought it up without necessarily She brings
Yeah.
initiatives forward.
Of course,
Then
I mean, would it be helpful? I wouldn't be helpful, would it be helpful if I showed up tomorrow? Or is that?
That's, you can see how it is, because it's an ongoing meeting, and then tomorrow maybe just listen and see where we're at, and then the next meeting. But
Essentially, we need the city or some
Yeah,
physical.
exactly.
Because it's a state money, and then they also need a financial
do I have?
partner, because they need to do a lot of planning.
Yeah,
There's
Well, they're bringing tomorrow, one of the people coming tomorrow is. Yeah, one of the entities coming tomorrow is community partners. If you saw the email from Noah today.
the only thing that we're seeing is
What was interesting about the person she's invited from community partners, because she lives in.
no, I think we're gonna be okay, like, I feel like everything's kind of lining up
Yeah.
to be like. We're gonna find that the right now, the harder thing is the local agency, like LADOT or UNNC. I think one of those two needs to pick us up to be like, okay, we'll sponsor the grant. Tell them like, you already have all the work that you just need to make, like, open your bank account. I don't really know how this works. I'm assuming that's what they do.
Other people. do.
Yeah, exactly, so.
Well, what happened, our first little tip into grant is, TPL, which is Trust for Development, helped Teresa primarily, we were writing a proposal for a project here for the street. That was.
Before we move on, okay, let's just.
Well, I was just gonna say,
Uh-huh.
what they provided was not just advice on the map, but some,
Yeah, the renderings.
And we did using the we word, it wasn't. Teresa has her own. I'm not finding the meeting.
Since Yola sent back and forward.
Well, I know, since searching.
Any updates or old business that we wanna bring up, I think I wanna bring up I think I brought it up in the updates, but I'll bring it back again, same routes to school. Maybe we can activate that for next time. Since none of our schools have a safe route to school.
So even,
There's only 10 schools in all of LAUSD.
so that's interesting, we're speaking, are you saying Carson Gorge is not?
It
Because they,
was not,
that's really
it
interesting.
was not, or maybe it's not updated on the website because it wasn't. So it's kind of a frustrating. All right, with that being said, I'm gonna